Welcome, everyone. We are going to start now in a few minutes. Just waiting for some few people to join, and then we will start the lesson. So before we start, if you have any question or comment, you can add it in the comment section, and then I will address everybody's concern. Right. Somebody said question. If you have a question, you may ask. And then don't forget to also, you can type it there. Then the question that we are going to also use today, I'm going to upload them. That's what delayed me. I'm uploading all the questions. Then I can share with you the links for all the questions regarding grade 10, what we will be using today. So I'm uploading it. Then I will send the link. I will share the link there as well. Which says grade 10 practical. Right. Whilst it's busy, I'm going to start the lesson. Right. Now, today we are going to focus on the outline and scope that I sent to grade 10 learners. Then we will be focused on every single topic. Now, for June examination grade 10, you are expected to answer questions in Microsoft Word and then also Spreadsheet. There is no PowerPoint in grade 10 June paper, and there is also no HTML. So HTML and PowerPoint to follow maybe term 3 and term 4 according to the ATP. So wherever that you are, the province, there is not going to be any HTML, neither will there be any PowerPoint. So the only two softwares will be Microsoft Word and Spreadsheet. Now, let's go through what is expected from us today, and then what you should know before you start your paper 1 examination. Remember, when you talk about paper 1, it is practical. Paper 2 is also theory. Now, the first thing that you must also know when it comes to Microsoft Word is the font group. You must know how to change the font style, how to change font size, how to bold, italic, and underline, how to change the font color, how to change different text effects like shadow and glow, and then also character spacing. So all the things under font group, you must know it. Then again, paragraph settings. You must know paragraph settings, which involves the alignment, align left, center, or justify. In most cases, learners, when they say justify a paragraph, they will ask you where is justify. It is part of alignment. Then again, line spacing, indentation, bullet and numbering, and then shading and applying borders around a paragraph. So you are expected to know this as well. Then basic editing and typing skills. That is the formatting mark, the basic punctuation. There can be an error, then they will ask you to make corrections, and then how to insert special characters and symbols, or how to use symbols as a bullet, and then also how to insert a field and then objects. For instance, how to insert quick parts like the current date, and how to insert page numbers also, or customize page numbers. You must also know find and replace, how to find a text and then replace with another text, or how to find a text, then you modify the same text, or you format the same text to bold or italic. We will look at that. And then the text and paragraph formatting, like we said, the font and the indent, we have talked about that. Styles also. In grade 10, you are expected to only apply a style to the heading. You are not supposed to do advanced styles, maybe modify a style. Grade 10, you are only expected to apply a style to a heading. Then also review and proofing, that is to change the spelling and grammar and autocorrect. And then the dashes and then emphasis, you need to know that. And also page setup, how to change the page size, the orientation, and then page breaks. Then again, we talk about borders and shading. You must also know how to insert and manipulate pictures in different shapes, word art, smart art, screenshot, chat, and then text box, and how to enter something inside a text box. Then you must also know customizing margins and a table. You need to know how to insert a table or modify a table. You are expected to know how to just put the border around a table, inside and outer border, how to do basic calculations and change the size, and also merge cells. Then you must also know how to insert basic watermark. It could be text watermark or a picture watermark. You don't need to know the advanced one, just the basic one, how to insert watermark. How to also insert columns around paragraphs, drop cap, and then we will also be looking at the use of ruler settings in order to change the page setup and the margins as well. So basically, this is what is expected from you as grade 10 learner, right? And in most cases, Microsoft Word will be about 3 questions, question 1, 2, and 3. And then question 4 will be spreadsheet, and maybe question 5 as well. So it depends, but the total marks should be out of 100 marks. Now, we move straight to the spreadsheet. What do we have to know regarding spreadsheet for this term? And then basic spreadsheet, you know that the spreadsheet for calculations. Now we must know how to just do the spreadsheet formatting. Like you must know the error indicators, the hashtag. What does hashtag mean? What does the hashtag name, hashtag division, and then zero, ref, hashtag value, and then hashtag num. These are the error indicators that you might encounter when you are trying to solve questions or perform certain calculations. Now, you must also know the cell basics. For instance, how to change the cells, the height, and others, how to name cells, and then the relative and the absolute cell reference. Then you must also know how to change different data types like text, number, date, and others. You need to also as well know the basic calculations. We will look at that. Then you must know the basic functions. This time around, these are the functions you must know: sum, average, count, min, max, and then maybe count A. So these are the basic functions you should know. We will talk about that. And then the basic formatting, how to format cells, rows, columns, worksheet, merge and center, wrap text, sort data, and then auto fill. So basically, this is what you are expected to know before you go into the lab and then you start writing your practical examination. Right. Let me check if the uploads are done. And then I'm going to just share with everyone. So I'm going to just put the link. This link, you'll get the data files for all the grade 10 different questions that has been put together. So you can get all of them there. Now, let me start with the first question. So those of you who have devices, you can start with me. So grade 10 practicals. Now I want to begin with the last year question paper for Northwest, which is grade 10 June 2024 question paper. Now I have this question paper here. So we will start with the first question, which is Microsoft Word, and then we will look at the spreadsheet. We will go through the whole question paper and we'll pick another question paper as well. Right. So the first question says, open one, choose solar panel, and then you do the following. First question, change the paper size to A4, change the left margins to 2 centimeters, and then set the gutter margin to 1 centimeter, and then the position to top. So I'll open the data file. All right, so this is the data file. Now, according to the question, first of all, I'm going to change it to A4 and change different margins. So my learners, what I want you to know, we try to use the easiest method to solve questions. That is why we call it revision. So I will try to use the easier way of solving these questions so that you are able to finish on time. Now, whenever you are choosing or you are going to change margins, there are several ways. First of all, you can use the ruler settings. Now, if you don't know where the ruler is, you can go to view and then you take ruler to activate this. Now, you have the ruler with the margins there. You can just double click anywhere inside the ruler in the middle. When you double click, it's going to give you what we call page setup. Now, the page setup contains 3 different tabs. We have the margins, we have the paper, and then we have the layout. Now, whenever the question is requesting you to change the margins, you click on these margins. If the question wants you to change the paper size, you go to paper, and then the layout, if they want you to change the odd or even or center the content vertically. So we will also look at all of them. Now, alternatively, you could have reached the page setup by going to the search, then you type margins. Now you see adjust margins, and then you go to custom margin. It's also going to open the page setup for you. Right. Now, so you choose whichever way to reach the page setup. Now, when you go here, the first question is telling us to change the paper size to A4. So we go to paper and then the size, we choose A4. Now, remember, they can also give you a question whereby you change the paper size exactly to a specific size with the width and then the height. Again, they can also ask you to go to the print options whereby you change the language and others, but then you don't have to expect that type of questions. Now, the next question also says, change the left margin to 2 centimeters. So we click on margins, and then the left margin, we change it to 2 centimeters. Right. So they can ask you to change the left, the top, the bottom, or the right margin. Now, the question is also talking about gutter position. Some learners were asking this. Set the gutter to 1 centimeter. Now, they didn't talk about margin. They are referring to margins. Whenever you see gutter, it means margins also. Now, the gutter margin, they said, should be changed to 1 centimeter. So you don't need to just use the arrows. Just delete the number that is there. Then you type 1. And then the position should be, according to the question, the position should be top. So we have gutter position, and then we change it to top. Then the next question is asking us to change or insert a cover page. Don't forget, they can also ask you to change the orientation, whether to portrait or to landscape. You get it under margins. Then again, They can ask you to also change the layout by choosing or center whatever that you have vertically. So when they ask you to change vertically centered, you go to layout and then you will see vertical alignment. You choose center. So that's how we change the page setup. Always you get questions on that, margins, how to set the paper size, and then the layout. Again, the layout, they can ask you for line numbers to number individual lines here. So you get it under layout from the page setup. You choose line numbers, and then you take add lines automatically so that all the lines will be added. So as you can see, they have added all the lines when you choose line numbers. Right. Now, let me go back to page setup. Under layout, we also have borders and shading. So if you get a question that is also talking about borders and shading, you will still use the ruler settings. Just double click and then you go to layout. You see borders and shading. It will give you the page border, borders, and then also shading at the same time. Alternatively, borders and shading, just go to search and then you type borders and shading. It's going to give you the borders and shading dialog box. Right. We move to the next question. It says, add a cover page. Add a cover page at the beginning of the document as follows. Use the integral cover page. Insert the title, Solar Panels in South Africa. Insert your name and surname as the author. Change the picture to the one rooftop picture found in your exam drive. Delete all the other controls on the cover page. Now, so we are going to insert a new cover page, then we'll change the following. Now let's start. You see the first page doesn't have cover page, it has a content. So meaning that we need to create what we call the page break so that we will shift this one to second page and then we can have a new page. Now, how do we insert a page break? We can just go to insert, then you see page break. Now we have created a new page on top. Now, still under insert, we see cover page. Like I've been telling you, the easier way, if you don't know where to find it, just go to tell me what to do, say cover page. It's going to give you add cover page, and then you choose from the list given to you. Now, according to the question, we have different cover pages. Austin, banded, facet. There are so many cover pages. So it says you must choose integral. So this is integral cover page. Then it says we should add our name and surname in the author. Now, when you have cover page, we have abstract control, we have title, we have the author, we have the document title and document subtitle. And then we also have images here. So the question can tell you to change anything here that you have in the cover page. Now, first of all, it says the title should be Solar Panels in South Africa. So the document title, we click there and type Solar Panels in South Africa. And then the question also says your name and surname as the author. Now you go to the author and then you change it. You delete by using the backspace and type your name and surname. Please, you must type everything in full. Right. Change the picture to the one roof. Now, this is the picture. How do we change the picture? You just have to right click on the picture. You will see change picture. Now, I normally see learners trying to delete it before they insert. It's a long way. So you just right click on it and then you will see change picture. Remember, you are changing the picture from your device, from this device. Then you go and select your data file, in this case, grade 10 practical, and we are dealing with June 2024 question paper, data file, and then we will see one rooftop. So now the picture has been changed. Delete all the other controls on the cover page. That means the controls that you did not change, you must delete it. For example, document subtitle, we didn't change anything. So you click on it and then you press delete key. If it's given, you press delete. You select, it's better you select it. Like here, I'm going to change this one, the abstract. I don't need it. Then I press delete. You must select and press delete key. Then you check if there's no other control. Right. Now the next question, insert automatic page numbering as follows. Use the page X of Y format. Display the page numbers centered in the footer. Now you can insert page numbers either in the header or footer section. Now, how do we insert page numbers? You see from your document, you will find this. At the bottom there, double click at the bottom. It's going to open the footer section for you and also the header section. So you go here, header and footer. So you just double click at the bottom or the header section, double click on top or the bottom. Is going to open header and footer for you. Now, as soon as the header and footer is open for you, you'll find an auxiliary or additional header and footer section. Then all these, they can ask you questions to insert them. What can you insert? You can insert a text by typing the text. Again, you can insert the current date. It gives the current date. You can insert the current date, only the time, not the current date also. So you select the time format given to you. It gives you only the current time. So you can get a question that says insert only the current time as a field. Then you need to go to date and time, but then you choose a time given to you, not the date. Right. Again, they can ask you to insert document info, like the author name, or they can ask you to insert document info, like the file name. They can ask you again to change the file path. That is where that file is located. They can also ask you to change the document title. That is solar panels in South Africa. That is the title. They can ask you to insert that. They can also ask you several items like document properties category, keyword, the subject, and others, publish date, and others. They can ask you any of these properties. Again, they can also ask you to insert a certain field, like how many words are there. So you go to field from the document info field, and then you go and look for number of words. You can even insert the file size, the size of the file, and also they can ask you to insert the number of words, number of pages, or the number of characters. So num words is the number of words, So we have 1064 words. So basically, there are so many things that they can ask you to insert in the footer or the header section. They can also ask you to insert the picture as the header or footer. So take note. Now, let's go straight to our question. The question says we must insert page number. So still under header and footer, you go to page numbers. If you are inserting on top, which is header, you choose top of the page. If you are going to insert at the bottom of the page, you select bottom of page. If you are going to insert as the page margins, in the margin or the current position. So these are the options there. And then the last part is formatting, whether you are going to use Roman numbers or ABC as your page numbers, you change them under the format. So now let's start with the bottom, and then it says page X of Y. These are the different formats. We have page X of Y, which is bold number 1. Then you choose that one. Now, you have to check the question. It says it should be centered. You don't have to worry yourself. How do we center? You select your page number, go to home, and then you choose center as an alignment. So if you insert the page number on any position and the question requires you to place it somewhere, whether to the left, to the center, or to the right, you just choose the alignment, whether to the left or justify. Right. The next question, like I told you, apply the heading 1 style to the word why choose solar panels in South Africa, highlighted in yellow. So how do we exit from the footer section? You just double click in the middle of the page, then you'll be exited from the footer and header. Now it says we must just locate this one and apply heading 1 style. So we select the heading, and then from the home tab, you see styles. We have heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, title, strong, code, and different styles there. Like I told you for grade 10, you only need to apply the style. You don't have to modify the style. So here it says we must choose heading 1. So you must know that. Then 1.7, find a numbered list that starts with 1. Change the list into bullets by using 1 bullet picture. Now there's a list given to us here. So you select the list. It's already listed in numbers. Now the question says we must change this one into a bullet. Now when you select bullet and numbering, you'll get it from paragraph group. So how do we get there? You can just go there, paragraph group, you see bullets. This is numbered, or you can just use the search and say bullet. Then if you are going to use a picture, you say define new bullet. Define new bullet. Then you can use a symbol as a bullet. We can use a picture as a bullet, and we can change the font as well. Now, the question says we must use a picture as our bullet. Then you choose from file and then 1 bullet. Now they can tell you where the alignment should be, whether to be center or to the left. If the question didn't ask that, you just click OK. Now this is our bullet. But again, they can ask you to also change the indent. When you talk about indent, in terms of the bullet here, the space in between the bullet and then the text. How do we change that? You select the bullet and then you right click. You will see adjust list indent. Adjust list indent. Now we have the bullet position. Maybe bullet position should be 0.7 centimeters. And then the indent is 1 centimeter. Then you click OK. So they apply the bullet here, the bullet position. and then this one also here. So basically, this is how we change the indentation of the bullet and how to insert a picture or a symbol as a bullet. Right. So if we were to use a symbol, you right click, or you just go there and say bullet and numbering. You choose define new bullet symbol. Then you go and choose the symbol. Sometimes they can ask you to choose wingdings. So you type the symbol name under the font, and then the character code. Let's say they say use 120. You type the character code and then okay. So this will be the bullet, which is a symbol. Now, so take note of that. This is what is expected from you as grade 10 learner, only the bullets, and then either numbering or picture bullet or a symbol bullet. Right, we check the next question. It says, find the text that start with panel type and end with 7.00. Place it into a table to resemble as you can see there. Now, this is the table. So that it starts from panel type and it ends at 7. Now, this screenshot, it will confuse most learners. Please, this is just a border around it. You are not supposed to focus on the border. You are only supposed to focus on the table. So the table has 2 columns, and then the number of rows is 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 rows and 2 columns. Comparison table for solar panel prices is not part according to the question. It is just the heading. So take note. Now let's go there and look for that. Here is it. So we don't need to select comparison table. We have to select from panel types up to this one. Now, how do we convert a text to table? You go to insert. After selecting it, then you see table. There is an arrow below the table, and then you see convert text to table. Convert text to table. Now, we check here how many columns. There are 2, and then the rows are 1, 2, 3, 4. So you click OK. So we have this. Now, I want to show you other ways. You could have gotten a question like this. A table we have a text like this, and they are separated by /. So the first column should have this one, and then the second column should be the one after the /. Now, when you are converting that one to table, you see it gives me 3, 4. You cannot just click on OK. Now, so you change it to 2, but then you choose other. Sorry, I made a mistake here. This one is supposed to be yeah, it's supposed to be this one. That's the ranges. So here you select text to table. Now, when you choose text, it gives 1, 4. Paragraph separated by the text, it also gives 1, 4. And then comma, it gives 1, 4. Now, when you choose other, it's supposed to give you 2 and 4, 2 columns. Now, other, meaning that what is separating between them is just, you must check what is separating. In this case, is the /. So it gives me this. You can change it. Now, that / is no more there. So here, I must just cut whatever content that is here, and then I delete this column. How do I delete it? I go to table, layout, and then you will see delete table, and then I choose delete columns. Remember, the columns are the vertical one, the rows are the horizontal one. So if they are separated by something, you can use the other, then you put whatever that is separating them. Right. So this question only asks us to convert to table. Now, what do you need to know also as grade 10 learner regarding table? First of all, you must, the moment you select the table, how do we select the table? You will see like a plus symbol here. This one, when you click on it, it selects the entire table. Now, the moment you select a table, you are going to see table design and table layout. Please, that is the one that you are going to use to modify or change the table. Expect these type of things. You can be asked to put a border around it. So you go to table design, and then you will see borders here. You choose the line that you want to use based on the question. Then you choose the PT, whether 3 points, and then you select the color. Let's say I want the color to be red. Then if you want this that you have selected, the pen color and then the border size, you go to borders. We have only the bottom. If the question say put it only the bottom and top, you select bottom and top only. If you want it to be around, you choose outside borders, so that it's going to be around it. Right. Now, if they also say change the inner border, you go and select the pen. Let's say the inner border should be 1.5 pt with dash lines. And then the color should be green. Then you select the inside border. So here, the inside border is green with the dashes, and then the outside border is also red. So it depends on the nature of the question paper, right? Now, again, to shade, let's say we want to fill this part. Please, whenever you are filling, you cannot use the shading here for the home. It's not going to help you. So what you do is under the table design, you will see shading. So you select the row or the column you want to shade, and then you see shading. Then you choose the color. Now, if we want to add another column above this, remember there's also a table style. They can ask you to choose any table style here. There are so many table styles they can ask you, and each of them has a name. Right, so take note. Now, if they want you to add a row above, you click there, go to table layout, and then you see insert row above or insert row below. So here, insert row above, then a new row will be added above this one. Now, this row here, we can merge it. In other words, when we say merging, meaning that you are putting together. So I can select and choose merge cells. So these two columns has been merged together. Then I can type the text there, solar panel price list. Now, again, you can change the direction of this. They can ask you to align it to the center. You choose this one in the middle. They can ask you to change the directions, text directions. So when I click on text direction, it changes. So that's how we change the text directions. And then again, you can also sort. You can as well do 1 or 2 calculations, and then you can also change the cell margins. The distance between these cells, you go to cell margin, and then you choose allow spacing, let's say to 1 centimeter. So this is the cell margin that we are having. The spaces in between these cells, we call it cell margins. So watch out for that, and then how to delete, how to insert, you will find all of them under the table layout and then table design. So that's all about tables in grade 10. Now, if they are asking for calculations, you add, let's say you want to add a new row below, and we want to do calculations here. Now, if you are to do calculations from table layout, you will see a formula. You click on it, and then you type your formula here. Now, you can choose the function and paste. Let's say I want the function called sum or count. You select the function, count, and then inside the bracket, you say above. Why above? Because you are counting whatever that is above. If you choose below, you are counting whatever that is below. You can also count to the left or average and others. So you say above and then click OK. So we got 5. There are 5 items above. Right. So this is about tables so that you can solve all table questions. Now let me check from the comment section. If there's any question, then I'll address that. Okay, somebody said, what if you don't have integral cover page? I think most examiners always check that. Most examiners always make sure that you are using the right one. So they will check that that particular one is common. So Integra is mostly common to whether Office 365 or 2019 or 2016. So they will check before they choose that. Now, someone is also is asking, the Word document doesn't give that option. I don't know whether it's 2013. If it's not set, you will see, tell me what to do. Sometimes you'll find tell me what to do, then you type it there. I'm not sure which version of Office you are using, but I believe 365, 2019, and even 2016, you'll find it there as well. Maybe at school, you can check at school on Monday whether your school is using that version that will allow you to use the search. Right. And then again, right, I think I have answered the questions. I'll always check every question and then get back to you. Right. Now we move straight to the next question. It says, apply a drop cap effect to the first line of the text, renewable. To the first line of the text, renewable, under the heading government incentive and rebates. Now let's check that one also. Here is it. Now, how do we insert drop cap? We get drop cap from insert, and then you see drop cap under the text group. Then you choose drop cap options. Again, you can, like I told you, the easier one, if you have the search, drop cap, then you see add drop cap, then you go to drop cap options. Now, we have two types of drop cap options. We have drop, and then we have in margins. So always check the screenshot. We can see here that it is dropped, not in margins. If it was in margins, it will be shifted that side. Now, when it is dropped, you will see some lines will be here, and then the rest will be hidden. So you will check the options here. This is what we call the in margins, and this is what we call the dropped. So you have to choose the specific one. So this question is about dropped, not in margins. And then the question says it must be 0.5 centimeters from the text. First of all, check how many lines have been dropped. First one is the renewable energy. Second one is the program, investment. Third, incentives. Fourth, solar water. 5, 6, and 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the number of lines dropped will be changed to 7. And then the distance should be 0.5 centimeters. And then remember, you use these arrows to get it right. And then remember, they can also ask you to choose a specific font. So you change the font here, then you click OK. So this is what we have. Now, again, sometimes they can ask you to shade it to a particular color. So you must select only the arrow that has been dropped, not the entire text. Then you go to home, then you can fill in to the color that you want to fill in. And then the font size, you can change the font size as well. And add it. The question can tell you to do that. Right. So basically, this is all about drop cap for 4 marks. Now let's move on to the picture manipulation. Insert the picture in store where indicated on the last page. And so this is the picture. So we have to insert the picture on the last page under the conclusion. So we go to the last page. So it says insert picture here. Now we are going to insert the picture here. So you must select this place where it says insert the picture here. Then we go to insert picture from this device. Or alternatively, I told you, you can just say insert picture. You type picture, the keyword, which is picture, and then you see insert picture. Now, it says you must choose one install and then insert. Now, please, my learners, grade 10, whenever they ask you to insert the picture, don't go and double click on the picture. I always see learners, they will double click on the picture that is here. They want to just copy and come and paste. It will not work. You need to just go to insert and then you choose picture. So that's the right one. Right. Now, we have inserted the picture. Then the second question says, set the picture size to height of 7.5 centimeters and then the width of 10 centimeters. So we are going to change the picture size. Just like the table, whenever you click on the picture, it gives you picture format, or in some versions of the Office, you only see format. And then when you click on format, there's so many things that you can do. I'll explain them to you. You can change the color of the picture to different saturations. Recolor them. You can also change the artistic effect of the picture. They can also ask for the transparency of the picture. And each of them has different names. They can also ask you to reset the picture. Let's say the picture was changed and they want you to reset it. You choose reset picture. And also, this is insert picture, right? Corrections, we have brightness and then soft. We can also have to remove the background. Right. And then we also have the picture style. There are different picture styles. This is thick. This one is also double frame. So each picture has different, there are different styles that you can apply on a picture. So watch out for that. Then we can have picture border. You go to picture border, then you choose the weight. And then picture border, you choose the color. So that's how we insert a border around a picture. Then we have picture effects also. Different picture effects, which has different names. And then the picture layout. Different layouts that you can apply to the picture. So you can see it's a picture. It will change the layout that I can type the text. So take note of some of these from the format. And again, they can ask you to put the alternative text to the picture, whereby you type the alternative text here. Let's say solar panel. And then the picture position, they can ask you where you must position the picture, whether in the middle or anywhere. Or more layout options, they can ask you to change the position of the picture, whether absolute, they can ask you to do that. And text wrapping, and then the picture size. Right, now, let's stick to the question. It says we have to change the picture. Now, again, from the picture format, I forgot this one. You can also flip the picture or rotate. We can flip the picture vertically. Now look at what it's going to do. We can also flip it horizontally or to a particular angle. So you can flip pictures also, and we can crop pictures, whereby you remove portion that you don't want. You can crop the picture. Let's say we don't want the person there. We can crop it. Good. Then when you are done cropping, you click here. Now I don't want to crop. And then again, still under cropping, you can just crop to shape. You can crop to a particular shape. And these are the basic shapes. You can crop a picture to a shape. Now you can see that that picture has now been changed to a star shape. You can change the picture to a specific shape that you want. Now, any of these, they can ask you questions on that. So my grade 10, be prepared for some of these type of questions. Then again, they said the picture size. How do we change the picture size? Still under the format, you see the size. There is an arrow here. Click on this arrow. It gives you the picture size, text wrapping, and then the position. Now the size of the picture. If you want to have a particular size, you must remove this log aspect ratio. Why is it important to remove the log aspect ratio? So that as I change the height, it changes the width automatically. Now the question wants a specific height and a specific width. So you have to remove the log aspect ratio. Now they want us to put the height to be 7.5. So when you remove it, then the height, you can change it to 7.5 or 0.5. And here I change it to 10. Then I can have exact size that the question wants us to have. So don't forget, then you see it here, 7.5 and 10. If you don't remove log aspect ratio, you are not going to get it right. So take note of that. Now, picture border around it, we have done that. Okay, now let's see the picture border. It's dashes around, and then the picture position. So after changing the picture, we need to place them like this. How do we change the picture? Let me crop it back to shape. Right. Now, how do I change this picture height? I've changed it. Now, how do I move it? To move your picture around, you need to click on the layout option. When you select the picture, you will see this, which is layout option. If the version of your computer that you are using, the software, it doesn't give you that, you can get the layout option also from position, and then you go to more layout option. So that's where you see the text wrapping. Now, which one do you have to choose? We need to choose the layout option that says tight or square. If you want to place it behind the text, you choose behind text. If you want to place it, you move it around, you choose square. Now, the moment I click on square, it has been placed properly for us. So with this, I can move it around. to the exact position that they want us to place it. Right. Now, 1.11, it says, replace all occurrences of the word solar with the same word solar in red font, color in bold. Now, this is whenever you see all occurrences, the find and replace. Find and replace. Now, how do we do that? You can go to search and say replace. It will take you there. Or alternatively, you can use from the editing, you see from home tab, you see replace. Now it says find what? What are we finding? Solar. And then what are we replacing with? The same word solar. But please be careful here. As soon as you click on replace with, don't go and click here again. Just be here inside replace with. This is the one that you are going to change the font color and make it bold. So you must click here, make sure that the insertion point is here. Then you click on more. Now, when you go to more, you will find format and then you choose font. They can ask you to also change the paragraph of it or highlight it. So here we need a font and it says the font should be bold and then the color should be red font color. So you see here font color, we choose red and then okay. Then we click on replace all. As soon as you change this, you will see font bold, font color red. Please be careful. If it is showing at this place, it is wrong. That means you got it wrong and then you need to delete it. If you got it wrong, just click on no formatting and then you will start again. Right. So please take note of that. So it should be bold and then the color should also be red. Then okay. After that, you click on replace all. So we got 48 replacements with the solar now changed to red font color and it's bold. So that's how we do find and replace. So take note of find and replace. Again, they can also ask you to find all the occurrences. Let's say I want to find all the occurrences of installer. So I go to replace. Then I click on no formatting to change everything. So find what? Installer. Replace with the same word installer. Now, when I go to more format and I want to highlight it, I want it to be highlighted. So if I click on highlight, what is shading? And then I click on replace all. So you can see all the installers has been highlighted with yellow. Why is it picking yellow? Because already yellow is selected here. So let's say the question gave you that it should be highlighted in blue color. First of all, change the highlight color to let's say blue before you go and do your find and replace. So if you don't do that, it's going to give the default one, which is yellow. So in most cases, learners get these kind of errors or mistake. Now, another type of find and replace is changing special characters. Let's say we are going to find all the occurrences of M dashes with the N dashes. Now, when you talk about M dashes, the long one, and then the EN dash is the short dash. So we are going to change all the occurrences of short dash with the long dash. Now, find what? You go to special, and then you choose N dash. Replace with, you go to special, you choose M dash, replace all. So we got 3 replacements. That means the shorter dashes has been changed to a longer dash in the document, and we got 3 of them. Right. So basically, this is how we do find and replace. Grade 10, the questions will always be there. You are expected to know this before you start your examination. Right, so we are done with the first question, covered so many questions. Now let's go to 2 renewable questions as well, and then we solve all the questions. So I go to 2 renewable. Now before that, let me check if there's any question from anyone. Okay, somebody says, how do we center the whole table? I'll be looking at that. How do we center the whole table? Thank you for that. Let's address that one as well. We try you. If you have any question, you can put your question there, and then I'll assist you as well. Right. Let's say this table, we had a table like this. Let me go back to the table. Right. So I have this table. Now, how do you center everything inside the table? To center the content, you just select the table. And then, like I said, we have table design and table layout. Then you choose this one under the alignment, center, align center. So every content will be centered. Right. Then there is also another thing that I forgot, which is talking about auto fit. If you want to have, we have 2 types of or 3 types of auto fit. We have auto fit to content, so that only the content will fit into it. And then we also have auto fit to window, so that the table will cover the entire window. Now, if we want to center our table, when you select the table, you go to properties. From table layout, you see properties. Click on properties, or when you center, when you do it, you select the table. You can also right click, and then you see table properties. So when you right click and choose table properties, you will see center, and then you click OK. So now it will be centered for you. So that's how we center a table. Right. Now let me move straight to the next question, which is renewable energy. Change the font of the entire document to Comic Sans MS. Entire document. So you have to select everything in the document. And then, how do you change the font? You go to the font group, then you go there and choose Comic Sans. You don't need to scroll down, just start typing the name. It's going to give you, then you press enter. It will change everything to Comic Sans for you. So when you click on it, you see it there. Right. Change the heading, examples of renewable energy to word art as follows. Now, word art, there's a heading here. They want us to change this heading. So when you select it, we are going to convert this heading into word art. How do we change this one into word art? In order to change this to a word art, you go to insert, then you see word art. Choose any word art style unless the question is requiring you to choose a specific word art. Otherwise, you must choose any word art. Then, word art also is part of shape. So you see shape format. Word art, you can fill in. That is the shape fill. Again, with a word art, you can change the shape outline. That's the weight. And choose the shape outline color. Again, with a word art, you can change the shape effect, which we have the preset, like a 3-dimensional object. You can change the shadow, the glow, the soft edge, and then different bevels. Each of them has a name. So they can ask you any of these. to apply. Again, word art style. We also have text effect. Normally they ask you a question under text effect. That's the actual text, not the shape. Remember, we have the shape effect and text effect. Now the text effect, we have what you call the transform. They can ask you to choose any transform. And I think this question was talking about, if not curve up, I will check it. It says use the transform to wave 2. So when you go to the text effect, transform, and then look for wave 2. This is wave 1, that the first column. This is wave 2. Wave 2 is wave up. And then again, they are asking us to use the gradient fill blue accent 1. So fill effect. We are going to fill, which is the shape fill, not the text fill. Take note. I think here they are talking about the text fill, not the shape. Let's look at the question again. Or to the word art. So here we choose the shape fill and then the gradient. Each of them has a name. So you choose the one that the question is requiring you to do. It says the gradient fill 2. Accent 1, reflection. Gradient, blue. Yeah, so they are talking about the text itself. So it's blue, accent 1, reflection. So you have to look for the name. If it's not there, because in most cases, maybe the question was set based on a specific, like somebody just asked 2016. So if it is not there, I think the new type of question, they will tell you a specific one. Right. So they talk about gradient fill, not more options here, please. So you have to take note, it's a gradient fill with a blue color, and each of them has a name. So this one, linear, diagonal, bottom, right to left, or from corner. Right. So basically, this is how we solve questions regarding the word art. Now, take note, word art, we can also change the text, align the text to the middle or to the bottom. And then the text direction also, we can change it from the word art. You can rotate it to a text direction. The same as the images, you can change the position and wrap it as tight. Then you can move it around. We can also flip it vertically and horizontally. You can do that. So take note of word art. What must you do? But then this question only requires us to change the word art and then fill in this information. Now let's go to smart art. We have been given this smart art here that we need to modify. Now it says find the smart art on page 1 and format it. So we have Spain with concentrated solar. So we have Spain with concentrated solar, South Africa with wind energy, and then China with 3. So now we need to add Scotland. There's no Scotland. We need to add that one. How do we add Scotland? When you select your smart art, these are the different shapes. Now, I want to show you something. You can add another one below by right-clicking, and then you say add shape, and then you can choose shape below. You see, it should be this one. If it doesn't give one here, add shape, you have shape after and before. So you can choose before and then it will give you there. When you choose shape after, it brings it down for Scotland. Alternatively, the easier way, when you select the word, the smart art, you will see an arrow here. I want to enlarge it so that you see. There's an arrow here. When I click on it, it gives you type text here. So you can type your text. This is China. So you can just press enter. Now you can see this one, when I type Scotland, Scotland is going to be part of China. So you can see here, it will be here. Now that's not what I want. So when you click on Scotland, Scotland and China should be on the same level. So you can just press the backspace to bring it to the same level with China. If you want to move it to the next level, you press the tab key. It will shift to as a second list. In other words, different list. So you press backspace, and then it will be on the same level. Now I press enter. There's a word for Scotland also, biomass energy. I type it. Now, biomass energy is supposed to be part under Scotland, not on the same level. So I click there, and then I press the tab key. It will shift it to the second level. So you can see biomass energy is part of what? Scotland and others. So basically, use that arrow, and then you type and use the tab key or the backspace. The backspace to bring it back, the tab key to indent it inside. So that's how we use to change. Now, the other question is talking about we must use smart art style, and then the style should be changed to 3D cartoon. Now, how do we do that? When you select the smart art, it gives you smart art design. And then we have the change colors. It's colorful. So they will tell you which colorful should you choose. And then we also have smart art style, and it's a 3D cartoon. So each of them has a name. This is 3D cartoon, yes. So you must choose the smart art design, you get a color, and then the smart art style. This is what they will ask you question regarding smart art. Right. Again, we can also manipulate on this smart art. Let's say I want South Africa to be the first one. What I will do is I select South Africa and I say move up. South Africa will now be in the first position. Right. Again, here, if I want biomass on another level, I select it, then I can go promote. If I choose promote, that means I want biomass to be on the first level, on the same level. If I say demote, it must go and be under this one. So alternatively, instead of you to use tab and that, you could have also used promote and also demote and move up and move down. So basically, this is all about smart art. They can ask you to also insert different smart art. Now we have so many smart art there that you can choose, and then different colors. We have the process, we have cycle, hierarchy, and others. Then they will ask you to choose a particular smart art. So my grade 10s, watch out for these type of questions. Right. Now we go to 2.4. Set the line spacing for the paragraph starting with renewable energy up to that on page 2 to exactly 20 pt. Now line spacing, which is part of the paragraph group. Now we need to go to renewable energy and change the line spacing. So we must select this and change its line spacing. How do we go to line spacing? It is part of the paragraph group. So you can click on paragraph, the icon here, or the arrow here, sorry, or you can type paragraph, and it gives you paragraph settings. Now, under the paragraph settings, you must watch out for these type of questions. The alignment, whether center, left, right, justified. And then again, indentation, left, and then after text, we also have the special indentation, which we have first line and hanging indent. I'll explain it also again. Then we also have the paragraph spacing before and after. They can ask you a question under that paragraph spacing before and after. And we also have the line spacing. The line spacing, the question is saying we should use exactly. There are several line spacings here, 1.5, double, at least, exactly, and multiple. So you must be very careful which one is the question referring to. Here it says exactly 20 pt, meaning we have to focus on exactly 20 pt, right? And then we choose 20. And then okay. Now, the next question, change the paragraph spacing of that one to many countries up to renewable on page 2 to 12 pt before and 12 pt 6 pt after. So the same page 2, there was another paragraph that they wanted us to change the spacing. Let's say this one. You go to paragraph, before should be 12 pt and then after should be 6 pt. So this is paragraph spacing, which is spaces between paragraphs, and line spacing, which is the spaces between different lines within a paragraph. So this is line spacing. Now locate the paragraph starting with renewable and place a hanging indent of 2 centimeters on this paragraph. Hanging indent of 2 centimeters. Now let's see hanging indent. Here is it, many countries. Hanging indent, this one. How do we change the hanging indent? I'm going to start by using the ruler settings. Now, please take note. I want you to identify this. When you have you click inside the paragraph, and then you see the ruler settings here. We start from 0. Now, you will see top, bottom, and then at the bottom there are 2 things there. I want you to take note. The one that looks like a rectangle, it's called left indent. So if I click on it and then I drag it to 2 centimeters, that is the left indent to 2 centimeters. Right. Now, when I come here, this paragraph, this time I don't want to use the one that is rectangle, which is left indent. I want what we call the hanging indent. So at the bottom, the one on top of the left indent is called the hanging indent. So if I click on it and I drag it to 2 centimeters, this is the hanging indent. So you can see the first line remains, and then the rest of the text within the paragraph will move to 2 centimeters. We call this hanging indent. Now look here. The one on top is called first line indent. So if I click on it to 2 centimeters, so this is first line indent, this is hanging indent, and this one is left indent. Now we also have the right indent. Right indent, you get it from the right hand side. Here is the right indent of the ruler. If they say set right indent of 14 centimeters, you move it from that position to 14. That's the right indentation. So take note of that. This question was talking about first line indent of 2 centimeters on this paragraph. So all that you need to do, the easier way to solve this type of question is to select the paragraph, first line indent is this one, the hanging indent. You click and then you drag it to 2 centimeters. Right. Let's move to the next question. This is about table. Locate the table below and then you do the following. Add a row on top of the table and move the heading 7 hydroelectricity inside it. So we have talked about tables, so I would like you to also do them. Basically, it's all about what we are doing today. There's a table, add a row above it. When you select the table, you see table layout, and then you see insert row above, and then you merge it. Now they say we must move this text. Move means cut. So you select, you right click and choose cut. Then you come and paste it inside. You right click and say paste so that it will be there. Right. And then you say you must shade it to light blue. How do you shade? Like I said, you go to table design, you see shading, and then you choose light blue color. Place a dark blue border around it with 3 pt, and then the inside should be 2.5 orange color. Now, like I said, you select the table by clicking here, go to table design, and then you will see the border, which is 3 pt, and it should be dark blue. And then you choose borders and choose outside. So we have that border around the table. Then we go back again. This one should be 2.5 pt or 2/4 pt, and it should be orange color. Then it should be inside. So that's how we change the borders. It should be auto fit. Place the table on its own page, and it should be landscape. Now this is the table. It overlaps on different. How do we place it on its own? You can use what we call insert break or page break. We go to insert page break so that it will be on its own page. Right. Now, the question wants us to do calculations. It says the table should fit to the page. So when you select the table, how do you place it so that it fits on the page? You go to table layout, auto fit to window. And then the calculations. We are going to calculate the maximum capacity. How do you calculate the maximum capacity? From table layout, you see formula. And it gives you by default sum above. So you delete the word sum and then you type max. Please do not delete the equal sign. You type the word max and then click OK. So basically 14 marks. This is what you were supposed to do for this question. And I believe you will try your hands on this as well. Now, we are moving straight to spreadsheet. We have done so many questions regarding Microsoft Word, tables, word art, find and replace, and all of them. This is what is expected from you. And also, there's one thing that I forgot to also explain. That is how to group different shapes. Let's say I have an image. I have an image here. I'm going to insert an image. So insert a picture. I'm going to insert a picture. Right. And then again, I insert another picture. Let me insert a picture from the device. Right. Then I have also, I'm going to insert I'm going to insert a shape. So I have this shape. How do I type inside this shape? I right click and choose add text, then I can type inside. And this shape solar panel, I can increase the size. I can fill in the shape also with any color of my choice. Right, now I have this three shape. Now I want to group it and make it as one object. If you want to make that one object, what you need to do is you need to put all of them into layout option called, let's say, square. All of them dip the same layout option, square. Here you choose square again. They must have the same layout option, otherwise you are not going to win. Now let me move this so that with a square or tight, they can move all of them together. So now moving this one and that. Right, now I have these three. I want to make them as one object. In order to do that, you must have all of them to be having the same wrapping. Now, after that, you select the first one, hold down the control key, CTRL, that's the control key on your keyboard. Then you go and click on the other one. The moment you hold down the control key, if you place the mouse pointer, it changes to this icon or the tooltip. You click on it so that you select all the three images or all the images. Immediately you are done selecting, remove your finger from the control key so that you can now right click on any of the shape and then you choose group, then you choose group here. So now they become one object. Now this object here, I can crop them into a single shape. Let's say I want to crop them to heart so that all of them will have the same shape into cropping. So if they are having the same, you can first group them and then you can now do it as one crop to shape. Right. So basically, this is all about image manipulation with word art. You can also have word art and then you join it as well. Right. Take note, they can give you this type of question to create a logo and then you put them as one. So you must know how to manipulate and put them together. Right, before I proceed to Microsoft Excel, let me check if there's any question. Then I will attend to these questions. Yeah, somebody's asking, how do we put watermark? Very important. I nearly forgot it. And then the columns also. Can you show us how to separate the table columns? All right, I will do that. And then someone is asking for the link to the question paper. Let me copy again. This is the link. It's also under the link. You can find the link also under, if you scroll, you can find the link also under this video. Right. So we are moving straight to spreadsheet. But before that, let me address the issue of the question of the watermark and also how do you separate the table columns. I'm not sure if they are talking about how to insert a column. Now, let me choose this one. How do you separate a column? I have a column, a table here. Now, if you want to add a column, the same thing. You go to table layout, you will see column to the left or column to the right. So if I want column to the left, I click on it. It will create another column to the left of what I've selected. If I want column to the right of this one, column to the right, it will create another column. Then I can increase the column height or the column width, or you can just adjust them like this, and then you type. And again, the column, you can merge it also and type a text inside it. Then you can change the text direction also. Right, now the watermark. How do you insert a watermark? To insert a watermark, you get it under design, and then you find watermark. Again, you can also change the table, the page color. Let's say you want the page color. Now watermark, then you choose custom watermark. Now for grade 10, they only ask you questions about picture watermark and then text watermark. So if it is about picture watermark, you select your picture. Then you go and choose your picture. So here, you must go to your document and select the picture. And then they can ask you to choose a scale of the picture. Let's say 200 or 500%. If the percentage is not here, you can type that percentage. Let's say they want the watermark to be 300%. You type it here. And wash out. Wash out if you want it to be faint at the background. If you remove the washout, then you click on apply. So now the picture will be at the background as watermark. Right, again, from the watermark, we can use the search and type watermark. And then you choose custom watermark. Then we have the text watermark, whereby you can type the text. And then you change the font of it. The question can ask you to change the font. And then the size, let's say I want the size of 144 or maybe 250. And then should be diagonal or horizontal, and apply. You can even choose the color. Right, so this is the watermark at the background. You must go to design, then you choose watermark, or you go to search and type watermark. Then again, I forgot this topic, which is called the borders and shading. Now, if you want to put a border around a paragraph, you select it. Then you see page borders. Or you can search from here, say borders. Then you see borders and shading. Now we have borders, we have page border and shading. Now, when you say border, that's around a paragraph. You choose the border, and then you also select the color of the border, and then the width of the border. And if you want the border to be only top and bottom, you place it where you want to put the border and you click OK. And then the shading, if you want to shade it to any color of your choice, you do the same. So this is all about borders and shading. And then again, we can also place it into columns. Let's say we want to put these two paragraphs into columns. Remember, this is not the column of a table. So you select it, and then to place it into columns, you get columns from layout, and then columns. Then you find more columns. Or you can also use the search and type columns, add or remove columns. Then you type or you click on more columns. So here we want to choose, let's say, 2 columns. They can ask you to put a line between the columns, and then the spacing between each column, let's say 1 centimeter, and OK. So that's how we place text or paragraphs into columns. Now, let's take, for instance, we want to push this text from this side. The solar should be on top of this column, column 2. You click there, go to layout, and then you see breaks and choose column. It is going to push it to the next column for you. So we put what we call a column break by going to layout. You must first click where you want to move to the next column, layout, breaks, and then you choose columns. Right. So this is all about Microsoft Word. Right. Any question again before I proceed to spreadsheet? Spreadsheet is not much. What you should know as grade 10, we will finish it soon before our time ends. If you have any question, you can ask before we start the spreadsheet. All right, let's proceed to the spreadsheet, starting with the first question, 3.1. So I'm going to open 3 prices. So I open 3 prices. Now, please, grade 10s, you should be very careful with spreadsheet. Now, the question is work in the prices worksheet. As you can see here, the moment I open the spreadsheet, it opens for me sheet 2. You must be very careful about the worksheet. Check which worksheet are you applying it. So here is sheet 2, and here we have prices worksheet. Now, the first question is asking us to merge and center the text from A1 to D1. Now, some people were asking here, it's already merged. They chose, because they chose this one. It was wrong one. It's supposed to be prices. Now it says merge and center from A1 up until D1. So you select from A1 to D1. And where do you find merge and center? From the alignment group, you see merge and center. Alternatively, you can just go to search and type merge. It's going to give you merge and center. And then you merge and center. Now, the next question says, use the type of the font called Comic Sans 25 and then a green font color. So the same A1, the font should be Comic Sans. You click there and type Comic Sans, then you press enter. The size should be 26. Let me check the question again. 25 pt. So you choose the size 25. It's not here, so you must type. Why do we always ask questions in odd numbers about the point size? Because sometimes we want learners to type themselves instead of choosing. They will say, I don't find 25 there. You must type. Then the next question says, change the height of the row to 50 pt. Now, this is row 1. To change the height, right-click on the number 1, which is row 1, and then you see row height. Then you type 50. Then the next question, shade the merge row in light yellow and place a thick border around it. Now we have to fill in here. How do you shade? You can go to borders and shading. You can type it there, borders and shading. Then you choose more borders, so that it gives you the borders and shading. Or alternatively, you can just right click inside the cell, then you see format cells. Now, when you go to format cells, it gives you the number format where we change the basic number format. It gives you the alignment where you can align it vertically and horizontally based on the question. You can wrap text. You can shrink to fit. You can merge cells. And then you can also change the text direction. You can also change the orientation. Then we also have the font, whereby you can change the font, borders, fill, and protection. Please, grade 10 is easier. The first part of the questions regarding spreadsheet will be about cell formatting. So if they are asking you to apply on a particular cell, it's better you right click and choose format cells. Now you can get everything there. So here it says we must fill in with light yellow color. So you choose light yellow color. And then you must place a thick green border. So we go to borders, and then you choose a thick one, the line here. Then the color should be green. And then around, that means outline. Or alternatively, you can be clicking on them here, top, bottom, sideways. Or when you say around, you just choose outline. And then okay. So it has been shaded, and then there's a border around it. Now, they can also ask you to change the orientation. Let's say we want to change the orientation of this one. How do we change the orientation? You can do that also by right-clicking and choose cell format. It is part of the alignment. So we can center horizontally as well. And then the orientation, you can change the degrees, or you can use this one to change the orientation, whether to the negative degrees, like this one to negative 45, or positive 45 degrees. So the question can tell you what degrees should you place it. Again, they can also give you a specific orientation. How do we change it? You get it from the alignment group, and then you see A and B with an arrow pointing upwards. So we have angle counterclockwise. We also have angle clockwise. And then we also have orientation vertical text or vertical text up. So they can give you a question like this. So you must check what kind of alignment did they place it. They use the orientation vertical up or vertical down. So watch out for that type of questions. Right. Now the next question says, change the format of the date given in cell D2. The date must be changed to that format, Thursday, 23rd. Now, I realize this question that it was not changed, it was not set as date. So this one was not set as a date. So that's why it was giving problem. Let's say we have today's date here. Equal sign today. Equal sign today. Right, so it gives us today's date, which is the date. Now, if the question says we might change the format to the format that you see over there, this is the date we have. Now, the question wants us to change this format. How do we change this format? You right click again, go to format cells, and then it is part of the number format. So if you are changing to a particular date format, go to custom, and then where it says type, change it to that format. Now look at this one. It says Thursday. Thursday is a day that is written in full. So when you see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we change the format to 4D. It should be 4D. And then followed by space. Now you see a day written in number, which is 2D. And then space again. and then the month written in full, May. So we write 4M, and then the year 2024 written in full, so space, and then it should be 4Y. So take note, if we have 4D, it means that it's going to be written in full. So you might check how the format looks like. So it gives us a hashtag. Whenever you see hashtag, it means that the column is too narrow. You must widen it. So you go and click between D and E. You click and drag it so that you can have the full text or the full date written there. Right. Now, it says change the format of the amount in column in cell D5 to D9 to currency. So we have D5 to D9. We might change this one to currency. So you select again, use this method, it's easier. Right click, format cells. Now we want to choose currency. So under number format, we see currency. It should be rand. Sometimes they will ask you to place it in a decimal place. If they want you to change from rand to maybe dollars, you look for the currency that's given to you. So you change the currency and then you click OK. So that's how we change the format of a currency to either rand or dollar sign. Right. Now we move straight to the calculations. Very, very important. Sometimes they can also ask you a question that everything should be fully visible. How do we ensure that the text is fully visible? Now, meaning that you use rep text. Fully visible means rep text. You must choose rep text so that everything will be fully visible. Again, before I start the calculation, greatest, they can also ask you a question to change the tab color, to delete, and do so many things. And then when they say change the tab color, they are referring to these ones, the worksheet. So if we are going to change the tab color, you right click, you will see tab color, and then you change it to a particular color of your choice. Then again, to delete, let's say we don't want this worksheet, we have another worksheet, right click and choose delete. If you want to add more worksheet, you click here and it's going to give you additional worksheet. So watch out for that. Then we have autofill. Let's say we are going to add another column here to number this 1, 2, 3. To do that, you right click on column A and then you see insert, so that it's going to insert another column to replace column column A. Now we want to number these. How do we number them? You type 1 and then you place the mouse pointer here in that intersection, that corner there. It changes to this autofill handle, which is usually black plus symbol, addition symbol. Then you drag it. Then you see autofill option. Click there and say fill series. It's going to number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on how many that the question wants you to place it. That's how we do autofill. Now we start our first calculation. It says calculate the total of the average price. Now we need to calculate average price here. The prices are given to us here. Then we must calculate the average price. To do the calculation, the function for average is average. So you start with equal sign symbol and then you type average. As you start typing the average, it's going to give you all the functions for average. Now double click on the average, the right function. It will open the bracket for you. And then you click on the formula bar, the FX. Click on this formula bar. It's going to give you the dialog box. Then it says number 1. Number 1 means select the range. Then you go and select the prices. And then you click OK. So this is the average. Now let's check the question again. It says find the total average price. Now this is the average price. So the total means we must use sum. So it was supposed to be equal sign, sum. Then you click on FX and then you select the values and click OK. So this is the sum of the values. Now the highest price, when they talk about the highest, we use a function called max. Smallest, we use min. So highest, we use max, equal sign. You start typing max, double click on the function called max, click on FX, and then you highlight the values. This is very easy, so that in case you make a mistake, you can still go back and click OK. So this is the maximum. The next question says you should find the lowest price. The lowest price means the smallest price, which is min. Equal sign, min, minimum, double click, click on FX, and then you select the prices and OK. So this is the minimum price. And then the number of entries in size column. This is the size column. We want a number. Anytime you see the word here, number means count. When you see number, or sometimes you can see total number, it still counts. So the number or the total number, we use what we call count. Now, remember, count is only for values. Count A can count any item within a range of cells. So I would prefer you always use count A whenever they are talking about number. So equal sign, you start typing count, use this one, count. Count is only to count numerical values or currencies. But count A is counting text or numbers. So meaning it counts non-empty values. So we use count A. Click on FX. Now the question is talking about the size and weight. So you select it and click OK. So there are 5. Now it says we must calculate the average. Average, we use the function called average. Click on FX and select all the prices. So basically you follow the same trend. Always start by equal sign, then you start typing the name of the function, double click on the function, and then you select the range. That's how we do all the functions without even checking this question. So you see here, I did not even check them. Then I know how it's supposed to do. Now it says the average should be formatted into 3 decimal places. This average should be formatted into 0 decimal place. So now we have it. We have to format it to 0 decimal place. Like I've been telling you to format, right click, format cells, now to 0 decimal place. So decimal places is part of the currency. We choose 0. Now sheet 2, rename it to general, and then we work there. Now they say sheet 2, we must rename. How do we rename? Right click and then you see rename. Or alternatively, you can double click and then you start typing the name. Now the question is asking us again to change the tab color of it to red. You right click, tab color, red. Fix the error indicator in column D. Like I told, the hashtag means it is too narrow, meaning you must widen it. How do we do that? Go and then click the line that is between column D and C. Double click and it's going to adjust automatically for you. Or you can just widen it. The next question, use a spreadsheet feature to number column A from 1 to 24. Here, we must number them from 1 to 24. You don't need to type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 24. You type 1, and then, like I said, put the mouse pointer here, which is called autofill. You can double click, and then it gives you 1, 1, 1, 1. Then you see autofill option. Click on that arrow and choose fill series. It's going to number them up to 24 for you. Then delete sheet 3. We don't need sheet 3, so we should delete it. You right click and choose delete. Right. So basically, this is spreadsheet, and then how you must answer these questions. This is also Microsoft Word. Here they are talking about combining. Like I said, if you want to combine, you need to make use of grouping by making sure that they have the same option and adding the border around it. That's the page border, left and then the right. Then the tab stop to 7 centimeters. Let's see if we can finalize this question. So basically, this is what you need to know regarding spreadsheet. I think I forgot about one important topic, which is count blank. And then also, yeah, I think it's only the count blank. Count blank is a function to count blank spaces. So let's say there's a blank space here. There's a blank space. And we want to count the number of blank spaces. We use what we call count blank. Equal sign, count blank, and then you click on FX, then you select. So it gives us 1. That's counting blank spaces. Now, let's say we were going to do some few calculations here also as well to multiply. We are going to multiply this by that. You press equal sign, click on this answer. Multiplication we use asterisk, then you click on that answer. So equal sign D5 times E5, then you press enter. They are going to put them together. And if we are going to find percentage, we use what we call division. Division for percentage. How do we do that? Equal sign, this value divided by that value. Enter. So that is what we call division. And if you want to change it to percentage, you say times 100. We could have done that by saying times 100. Right. Now you can format it to percentage symbol also. So this is all about spreadsheet, how to do arithmetic calculation. Minus is this one, equal sign. This minus that one. And then the multiplication also, vet. Let's say I want to calculate 14% of this. Equal sign, 14%. Put the percentage symbol times. Then you go and click on the value if you have to calculate the vet value. Right. So you must watch out for these type of questions. Equal sign, the percentage that you are going to do, multiply by that cell. Don't type the value, only use the multiplication symbol. Now, the last question that we bring this lesson to an end is the tab stop. The tab stop. How do we do the tab stop? Let's open Force Solar. And now the question says we must place 7 centimeters tab stop. 7 centimeter tab stop. Now this one wanted us to group these two. How do we group these two? Remember I said we must make the layout option to be the same. Square. This one should also be square. Then you can now select this. Hold down the control key. Select this as well. Then you right click and choose group. Click here, hold down, you select this. Right click, group, and then you can group them as one object. Right. Now the question says you must set tab stop of 7 centimeters. So we select this. We are setting tab stop of 7 centimeters with a leader. When you select it, how do you put the tab stop? Go to the ruler settings. Under the 7 centimeters, below. Don't click in the middle. When you double click in the middle, it's going to give you page setup. That is wrong. You click below the 7 centimeters, below it. Double click. It's going to give you the tab stop of that position, 7 centimeters. And now the question says should be a leader. The leader is the lines. So you choose the leader that you want and set. Okay. So now how do we place James to that side? You press the tab key from the keyboard. It goes to 7 centimeters. Jones also 7 centimeters. So they will all lie from 7 centimeters. So this is how we set the tab stop. It can be left or right. The question will always tell you how to set the tab stop. Right. So this is all about all the questions that we have done. Here is a page border to the left and right. Page border here. Borders and shading. You go there and type borders and you choose page border. You select the page border the question requires, the color of the page border, and it should be only to the left and right. So we remove the right and bottom, and then okay. First page only, and then okay. So we have page border on the left and then on the right hand side. Right. Basically, this is all that the question requires us to do. If you have any question, you can put them under the comment and then I'll address it. Right. So we are done. You can practice them. This is all that we need from you as grade 10 learner. The link is also there. You can watch it over before you write the examination. Thank you for your time. Good night.